What's up, YouTube? I might have a couple more halfies in my ashtray. Oh, that one's empty. This is that one. So is that one. Oh, yes. You take those little cigarette butts and you squeeze the tobacco out of them. Some cigarette butts will contain just enough. You get a handful of them, you get a decent amount of Kentucky Brown Rat Mare. Beats being out of stogies, yeah. So I was playing Grand Theft Auto 5 online, and I had somebody from level 421. This person I was versing on my created deathmatch was a level 421. And this person might have gotten a couple points on me, like 15 or 16. But I managed to score 4 good shots on him. Considering that one of my characters is only a level, and they're in their 30s for the leveling. So it was pretty apparent that the person I was versing was several levels ahead of me. Considering that, I didn't do too bad in the deathmatch that I played. And it's always nice when other online players give it a chance, you know what I'm saying? I did this one thing in the deathmatch where I grabbed a car and I jumped over the other player's head off a jump, and the tire came this close to hitting him in the head. I didn't put up too bad of a fight, considering even though I lost the deathmatch, I still got to play it. And the fact that I even scored 4 points, I thought to myself, well, this person's a level 421. I'll be lucky if I can score 1 shot. Because I'm going up somebody that's several levels ahead of me. And I got 4 points in, so I surprised the hell out of myself on that one. I did. But yeah, the name of my deathmatch is Shotgun Car Fun. It's pretty straightforward. There's some death matches you play where the weapons are damn near impossible to get, so if one team gets to them a lot quicker than the other team, then the other team ends up losing, and you're not really giving both teams a fair chance at playing, you know what I'm saying? So that's why I like the deathmatch I created. It gives other online players a fair chance at yeah. I had me a little bit of black velvet, mixed it with Dr. K, which is like a genetic Dr. Pepper. You know, when a friend comes over and says, hey, you want a drink? I'm like, yeah, I'm down. You know what I'm saying? So, that's what's up, YouTube. Well, thankfully, I have true fans that care about me, because they're helping me point out all these people that have been trolling me for years and have some sick obsession with messing with you know, people of my nature on YouTube. And what I mean by that is people who are a bit slower, you know what I'm saying? I will be fair on myself at least and say my retardation could be worse. You know, I've seen some people with autism that have it way worse than I do, and they still put a smile on their face, or at least try to, you know. So I'm just grateful that my autism's not on the lower spectrum anyway. When I was younger, though, it was pretty noticeable. I find that as I get older, it becomes less and less noticeable because I'm able to sort of pinpoint it and deal with it the best way that I can. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And when I started seeing the connections, I started blocking people left and right. And some people are just trying to help, I understand this, but they don't know me that well, you know what I'm saying? People on YouTube are like, well, maybe some of that acne would clear up if you changed your clothes and took a shower. And it's like, you know what? I changed my clothes and I showered, so, you know, I appreciate that you try to help, but that's not the cause of it. Occasionally it happens, even after you've left those years behind. I know to the average audience it probably doesn't look like it, but like 98% of my clothing is black, so, you know. I've noticed that my subscription count has gone up a great bit. Last time I checked it, I think my subscription count was at 2,061 subscribers. Oh damn, that's what's up. One thing about YouTube I like, though, is that you can show off your talents, you know what I'm saying, if you want to call them that. I'm not too bad of a singer, and my guitar playing's, it's not the greatest, but it's alright. It gets me by, at least. I've had a couple people ask me if I'm in a band, and the answer is no. As of right now, I'm not in a band. If I met the right group of people, you know what I'm saying, on YouTube, then yeah, I'd get a band started. I went to go record some GarageBand earlier, and I was getting a lot of background noise in my recording, so I don't know what's up with that. But if I'm trying to record my next album, I want it to be a bit more professional, you know what I'm saying? So I was messing with it earlier, and I don't know what the deal with that is. So until I get that resolved, production on my newest album is halted. But that gives me time to composite some lyrics and what have you. So starting off on YouTube, I didn't have this many subscribers, but 2 accounts deleted, and this account right here, and 2,061 subscribers. Boom, instant. So people pretending to be your fan club, and then your channel consists of nothing but videos that make fun of you. You know what I'm saying? You know, I have to wonder how stupid these people think I am, you know? I mean, they must think I'm pretty goddamn stupid, otherwise, you know, they wouldn't try so fucking hard. You know, instead of enjoying the vast quality that YouTube has to offer for content, they're more focused on fucking with me on this website, you know. One person commented, well, you shouldn't be posting porn on Facebook. It's such a bad example for the younger Cobras that look up to you. It's like, oh, that's adorable. I don't know if I actually legitimately have younger fans, but if I do, my response to that was, it wasn't porn, she was just dancing. If she would have been fucking herself, it would have been pornographic. I think people missed my argument on that video completely. No, Facebook doesn't have a problem with a mother posting a breastfeeding video, like that's no big deal, but yet you post a video of a topless girl dancing that you know what I'm saying, she's not fucking herself, she's just dancing to a catchy song. And even then, it was censored to a degree, so, and they still have the stink with it. You know, that's you know what I'm saying. That's the blatant hypocrisy of it. You know, and this is the funny thing of it too, and this often reflects upon society in general. Society is very desensitized to violence. But the minute a mother tries to breastfeed her child in public, some people freak out about it, and it just boggles my bloody fucking head, it does. And Facebook is just reflecting a very similar attitude towards the whole thing. Like their general rule on Facebook is that they don't want nude boobs on Facebook, but then there's a fine line between, you know, I guess what they consider, you know, decent and whatever else, you know what I'm saying? If it's done for artistic sake, or if it's done for educational purposes of some sort like that. And they even went into detail to sit there and say that some nudity is allowed if it's done for satire or humorous purposes. But the reason why some of these pages on Facebook are getting taken down is because it may show scantily clad women, but it's at least covering the nipples, and that's probably why Facebook doesn't have a problem with it too much. But it's like, wait a second, you know how many times I've come across nudity on Facebook and no one says shit about it, but then, so I guess it's just something you gotta be careful about, you know what I'm saying? But I was just pointing it out because I found it quite amusing, honestly, and how Facebook has a zero tolerance policy for harassment. That if they catch a user harassing another user, that they can temporarily ban them from posting on Facebook. And YouTube has a very similar policy, but quite often there's so many people using YouTube and so many people using Facebook that a very small group of team members has a lot to deal with, you know what I'm saying? So that's when they're like, well, we rely on the community around you to report it and blah, 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 blah. And you notice that the coalition, or the similarity with that and the education system. How many schools that you go to that say, welcome to whatever school it's called, you know, and then they say, you have a right to a harassment-free education. Now, if you were to compare a school to YouTube or Facebook and the users as students, you know what I'm saying? You're allowed some free speech on social media, but there's a line you cannot cross, and you know what I'm saying? And quite often, you know, they tell you that if you're being bullied in school, to ignore it and walk away or tell an adult you trust. And if you're being bullied on social media, the best thing you can do is ignore it, you know what I'm saying? But there's some comments that are just so far out there, you know, you gotta address it in some sense, like, this is what people are saying, this isn't true, you know what I'm saying? And if you can do that without losing your shit, then people get the truth from you, the YouTuber that's making the account, making the videos and what have you. And then if you're not losing your shit over stupid, immature comments, you're technically not giving trolls the satisfaction of getting pissed off, if that makes any sense. But sometimes you try not to get pissed off, but when people go to the lengths that they go to mess with me, you know, it's disgusting. Now, I'll give you an example of this. If I had said, hey YouTube, I'm getting a tattoo done, you know what I'm saying? If I had just left it at that, and then when I got back from the tattoo parlor said, you know, when I got my ink done at Black Sunday Tattoo Parlor, and Black Sunday Tattoo Parlor does an amazing job, really high quality work, you know what I'm saying, and left it at that, you know what I'm saying, but because I mentioned where I was getting it done before I went and got it done, people bothered, okay, they bothered to look up the number of the Black Sunday Tattoo Parlor and call somebody, pretending to be one of my neighbors, and then lo and fucking behold, continuing the oldest joke in the book. Somebody asked if I had a pet goat, and I said, nope, I don't have any pets. And people kept on asking me the same question over and over and over, to the point where it's like, okay, you're not being stupid, you're just trolling. Now, some people might have, I don't know, misheard me when I said the expression, when people pick on you, they're trying to get your goat. That doesn't mean you have a goat. It's an expression. It's like they're saying they're trying to get a rise out of you. You know what I'm saying? Another example of a figure of speech, as they call it. Another example of a figure of speech is if it's raining really hard outside. Some people might say, oh look, it's raining cats and dogs outside. Now that does not figuratively mean that the sky is literally cats and dogs raining outside. It's just another way of saying, hey look, it's raining outside. You know what I'm saying? It's raining super hard. When I surpass 2,000 subscribers, like I promised my fans, I do a little tour of my recording studio apartment, you know what I'm saying? As I call it, because it's a studio apartment and I record music and videos in it. All puns aside, I'm being serious. And during the tour of the apartment, you saw no pets. None. And I'm sitting there like I was literally sitting there getting my tattoo done, like unbelievably shocked, like not shocked as in like horrified, but shocked as in disgusted. You know, you're gonna waste Black Sunday Tattoo Parlor's time. That's time they could be making appointments with customers. You know what I'm saying? Doing their business as they do. You know what I'm saying? But you're gonna waste their time by trying to you know, prank call me, you know what I'm saying? It's beyond me, you know what I'm saying, YouTube, it really is. And, you know, the thing of it is that I'm not the only person that gets bullied on YouTube, you know, and that's just being fair with it. Now, does it suck that I get bullied on YouTube from time to time? Yeah, you know what, YouTube, it does suck that I get bullied on YouTube from time to time, you know, when I do nothing but try to produce some kind of content, you know. As some people have called my bit on YouTube, they call it the Autistic Seinfeld Show About Nothing on YouTube, and I'm like, well, that's an interesting way of putting it, but okay then. Yeah, February starts getting closer to March. We see less and less snow here in Wyoming, hopefully, and it's pretty warm today. At least the sun was out. And there's nothing wrong with, if Facebook wants to sit there and say, I watched the video several times and I contemplated it. I thought, no, this should pass Facebook just fine. Some of the stuff that I have seen on Facebook. I've seen people post way more sexually graphic content than the one video that I posted on Facebook. And totally got away with it. And that's just the irritating part of it. I didn't want to lose my Facebook account, and I didn't want to, have to start all over, because what a huge pain in the neck, you know what I'm saying? So I found the video, and I'm like, it's probably this one they're talking about. Great, whatever, delete it. Remove it from my account. And the thing of it is, too, that's just the point that was just the point I was trying to make, is that Facebook says that every user on that site has a right to a harassment-free, social media time, basically. And again, I'm not the only one getting bullied on social media. There's a lot of people that get bullied on Facebook and YouTube. It's just life, you know what I'm saying? And nobody really reports people harassing me, but the minute I post a tasteful video, people lose their minds, and it's like, wait a second. Some girl dancing on a video versus cyberbullying. I look at that and I go, the cyberbullying is way fucking worse, in my opinion, but that's just my opinion, And YouTube is nothing but one giant opinion, because it's full of a lot of people who have their own opinions on shit. So, yeah, sums that up quite nicely. Single awareness is coming up, and I'm here to tell you right now that if you're single on Valentine's Day, don't fucking stress it, man. You know what I'm saying? Life is too goddamn short to stress stupid shit like that. It may be true that those of us who are blessed with better looks and a better popularity and all around better social skills, people like that tend to have an easier time attracting a companion, what have you, yes. But those of us who were not so fortunate in those departments. We gotta rely on something else, and for me, that's my music. You know, if I'm, you know what I'm saying, some girls are into guitar players, just a matter of who you talk to. But I like it when, and of course I'm being sarcastic, but it's funny when people on YouTube say, oh, this dude's never gonna get laid, blah, 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 blah. And it's like, that's funny you say that because I've had one serious girlfriend and like 5 flings, so, yeah. They want to sit there and call the video I posted on Facebook pornographic. That's laughable. I've seen way more questionable shit on Facebook. And no one said shit about it. And YouTube and Facebook have very similar policies when it comes to nudity. If it's done for educational or artistic or political movement purposes, then, you know, they technically don't really care. But if it's just done for the fuck of it, then it has to be censored. You know what I'm saying? And I've seen that video floating around the internet several times, and I thought, well, if it's safe enough to be posted on YouTube, then chances are Facebook's not going to have a problem with it. Well, I was wrong. I was so fucking wrong. And it just blew my mind. I'm like, I was literally flabbergasted. You know, this is how our society, this is the problem with our fucking society, man. Well, it's not the problem, it's one of the problems, I should say. Yeah. I guess a lot of it depends on the culture you're in, too, because some cultures, when it comes to the female form, aren't as uptight and lewd and prude about it, you know what I'm saying? Because when you're sitting there saying on Facebook that, oh, it's okay to post a breastfeeding video because it's done for, you know what I'm saying? And then turn around and say, well, we don't technically allow boobs on Facebook, and then allow one version of it, but if it's not pornographic, it's tastefully done, and then sit there and say, well, that's not allowed. What's the fucking difference? You know? Now, I guarantee if the video I posted on Facebook would have been for, like, breastfeeding or some shit, they would have been like, oh, well, that's perfectly fine. You know? But in the real world, you know what I'm saying, it's a different story, you know? On social media, people are like, oh, yeah, if you want to post a video of a mother breastfeeding, that's fine, it's natural, whatever. But some people literally will freak out over the littlest of things, you know, like when a mother tries to breastfeed her child in public. When I see people making a fuss about that, it just makes me want to scratch my head and go, okay, wait a second. There's gun violence in this country, a drug war that's costing taxpayers trillions of dollars each month, and you're pissed off because someone dares breastfeed their infant child in public. Wow. You stop and think about it for a second, and it literally just, it goes over my head, like, wait a second. And how some people who hate guns try to pull the whole, you know, gun show loophole or whatever they call it. And one YouTuber, I forget his name, but he went in with a camera to try to prove whether or not this was true. And every person he went to said, well, some of them even said that, well, if you're not even from this state, I can't even sell you this gun at this gun show. So, yeah, you know. And someone else comments and says, well, maybe you should take a break from making videos or just delete your account. It seems like you keep deleting comments. And it's like, nope, I don't have to do none of those things. I can delete as many comments as I want to my channel. If you don't like the way I run things on my channel, then don't watch. It's that simple. There's been a couple people on the comments section lately that have already been blocked from my channel. And there's a couple people that are riding on thin ice with me right now. But the thing about being on social media especially is that you are entitled to free speech, yes, but there's a very fine borderline between free speech and harassment, And at least when some people are trying to give me advice, maybe they don't know the whole story, and then there's some people who try to give me advice on this website, and then they're just a complete dick about it, you know what I'm saying? Now, some people are still disagreeing with me. Some people are still convinced that Bailey's not real and what have you. So, and using that as an example, some people are saying, hey man, Bailey's not real, but whatever you want to believe, Some people are saying stuff like that, that's one thing. But calling me a fucktard and calling me stupid for thinking she is, you know what I'm saying? Which all I could change as soon as I meet her, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah, And one person suggested that I should look up the general area on the Google Plus maps or whatever. And that's, a bit stalkerish, you know what I'm saying? And I haven't even met her yet. You see what I'm saying? Unfortunately, I don't get paid till after Valentine's Day, I think. So, if I had a decent amount of money, you know what I'm saying, on that particular day, you know what I'm saying, I'd have Scotty show me where she lives in real life, and then I'd try to introduce myself, and if I didn't have a card, I'd be on the front lawn playing my acoustic guitar, you know what I'm saying? As cheesy as that sounds, you know what I'm saying? And at the same time, it's like, you know what I'm saying, I don't want Bailey's first impression of me to be that I'm cheap, you know what I'm saying? And Valentine's Day it's a holiday marketed towards mostly women. Let's not mince words, let's not lie. Let's not try to lie to kick it, you know what I'm saying? Like, you ain't gotta lie to kick it. It's pretty fucking obvious that Valentine's Day is a holiday generally marketed towards women. And you want to call that sexist all you want, go right a fucking head. But every year, they're pulling out the flower commercials, the chocolate commercials, and the diamond commercials, and blah, 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 blah. And the thing of it is, YouTube, is that if you do have a girlfriend on Valentine's Day, she may not be into those things, you know what I'm saying? So even if you do have somebody doing something for her, you know what I'm saying? When you have somebody to spend it with, it's not that bad, but when you're single, it's like, And the best thing you can do is not let it get you down, and remember, there's a lot of people out there going through the same shit you're going through. You know what I'm saying? So, hopefully, if you think about it like that, it makes it a less stressful holiday. You know what I'm saying? And it's a perfect excuse if you have money and you don't have a date, and you're old enough to go to a bar or a couple bars. You know what I'm saying? Go in there and have a couple drinks, and sit by yourself and just see what happens. And if you have a couple women interested, let them approach you straight up. That is the best way to handle that situation in a bar if you're socially awkward. And despite the shit I may talk on myself from time to time, there's been a couple of times that I've been in a bar and women have approached me for whatever reason. I didn't change the way I looked. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. And if you're not old enough to go to a bar just yet, then, I don't know what to tell you, honestly. Because there might be some of my younger fans out there who are watching my videos who aren't old enough to drink or any of that, so who may be single on V-Day. Perfect excuse to binge watch my videos. And, all jokes aside, if you're binge watching my videos, it might take your mind off being single and shit. Yeah. But the important thing is if you are single on Valentine's Day, is don't let it affect you, Take that time to reflect upon why you're single and if there could be improvements made on your personal character that would make you more appealable to potential companionship. Yes. And my hygiene's not a problem, you know what I'm saying? But when I look at my personal character, I realize that sometimes I get way pissed off way too easily, and that's not healthy to have. So, finding something to channel that anger into, that frustration, and there again's the music outlet that's always there, And if you have an outlet to express your frustration that's healthy, it can make days like Valentine's Day less stressful. You know what I'm saying? You could listen to some Bullet for My Valentine to help get rid of your pain. Ha ha, oh. Musical puns. I might just do a vocal cover on Valentine's Day just for the fuck of it. Or I could do one right now. Either way. Of course, I've already sang it, so it would be nothing new. The Tears Don't Fall acoustic version. There again, me showing off my vocal skills. And despite being creepy, autistic, and just me, I guess you want to say it like that, my musical talent does help me have some sex appeal to a targeted audience of women. You know what I'm saying? Some women aren't going to be into guitar players, and that's just keeping it real. But some women are totally into guitar players, you know what I'm saying? It just depends on which woman you talk to, I know Frosties, I don't know if they still do that or not, but at one point I believe Frosties every Tuesday would have a jam night, and locals could come in free of charge to bring in their instrument and play for the bar around them. Drinks were not free, of course, but it allowed local musicians to get together and play. And at one point, I loved doing it because it was a lot of fun, bringing my guitar, just shred, what have you. But then I noticed that my guitar playing was driving customers away, and Well, since then, I quit going to jam night because I don't want to drive customers away from Frosties, you know what I'm saying? And then I think to myself, well, if I want to bring my guitar to the bar, I have to look at other musicians who do that. You know, they do bar gigs and stuff, and they actually know more than one song. You see what I'm saying? So if I got better at guitar, no, there's no question I can shred. There's no questioning that on YouTube. But learning a couple songs would help with, you know, that way if I do go to jam night at a bar somewhere, what have you, customers are going, oh, alright, I recognize this song. They start tapping their foot to it and stuff, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. The pipe keeps going out. Oh, bloody hell, it's clogged. Well, it's not the stem. Shit. Oh, there it goes. Ooh. I didn't mean to blow pipe ash on my nose, but it's whatever. There we go, it's unclogged. Some of that green finish I put on my pipe is fading a little bit. So sections of the pipe itself are black, and some sections of it are green. I don't know if the finish on it will continue to fade, but if all the finish on it fades completely, it's basically going to be black on the bowl here, so, which I'm alright with. But right now it's kind of cool looking. Like half the bowl is stained green, the other half of it's black, and I'm like, that's pretty sick looking. Let's see here. I got some backwoods cigar tobacco in this pouch. It's also got a mixture of cherry pipe tobacco. So I got two different kinds of tobacco going here. Squeezed all the butts out of my ashtray into my pipe here and smoked it already, so yeah, get it in there. Now, this is where I see the conundrum. The story that's being told to the YouTube audience that watches me, they're thinking, okay, a lot of this sounds way too convenient, you know, in regards to the Bailey situation. Now, Bailey herself, for all I know, could really want to meet me, but every time she goes to make plans, something comes up, and she's probably thinking to herself, well, shit, you know. Which, every time she goes to make plans and something comes up, you know what I'm saying, she might be hesitant to make more plans because of the fact of the matter is that every time we go to make plans to meet, something comes up, you know what I'm saying. But, and of course, the one time my homeboy Sky is up at the mall, this one time, Bailey happened to have been there that day, and Scotty's always telling me, dude, you need to come hang out with me at the mall, you know what I'm saying. I'm just like, oh yeah, when I can, of course, and blah, 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 blah. And the one time I didn't make plans to do that, that happened, and I'm just like, oh, when I found out, I'm like, damn it! Always also convenience, yes. Not really, no. I should be getting my tax returns sometime in March. It's always nice to get that. I can use a good majority of that to get my rent looking real good and crunchy, you know what I'm saying? And if you can get it to where you're ahead on your expenses and what have you, it makes life just a little bit easier. You know what I'm saying? But something has to be, I wonder, that might be making her hesitant. And it's just like, and then to top it all off, you know, somebody creating an account pretending to be Bailey on YouTube to fuck with my emotions. It's just like, wow, people, that is fucking shallow. That's as shallow as a pool. You must think I'm a fool to sit here and fall for this bullshit. But it made it, you can't get enough of me, otherwise you wouldn't try so goddamn hard to fuck with me. Fuck with me when I say fuck you. Yeah. People say, dude, quit feeding the trolls. And it's like, well, if I didn't feed the trolls, they wouldn't try so goddamn hard. Well, no shit. But at the same time, it exposes the not so colorful side of YouTube. And I feel just that much braver for putting up with it. You know what I'm saying? I mean, there are some real scummy people out on the internet that do nothing but, you know, mess with people who have anywhere from minor to severe mental disorders, you know what I'm saying, or physical, what have you, you know what I'm saying? It's just ridiculous. And they say you shouldn't acknowledge trolls, but how many videos out there do you see on YouTube where they're talking about bullying and what have you, and oh, we need to raise awareness about it, and blah, 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 blah. You know, sometimes some people will consider raising awareness about it like feeding the trolls on YouTube and what have you. You know what I'm saying? So how do you combat YouTube bullies? You know, if you have an audience that generally respects what you do on YouTube, and if you see someone getting bullied on YouTube, don't be afraid to step in with your account and say, hey, buddy, shut the fuck up. You know what I'm saying? And then if the person who owns that account that's getting bullied doesn't like it, the combination of telling someone, you know what I'm saying? But then a lot of people won't stick up for that person in the comment section because they don't want the person that's bullying that person on the YouTube account to start bullying the person that sticks up for them. You know. That's a tasty combination of tobacco. It smells really good too. Well, 50 minutes is long enough. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you all later, YouTube.